Hey everyone, welcome back to Money Adams Reads, the channel where we unlock the greatest money and mindset lessons from the most powerful books ever written. Today we're diving deep into The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. This isn't your typical finance book. It won't tell you which stock to pick or how to hustle your way to riches. Instead, it explores something way more important: why we do what we do with money, and how our emotions, experiences, and beliefs quietly shape our financial lives. Let's break it down. 1. Everyone has a unique money story. Imagine two people. One grew up during a time of inflation, where prices were rising constantly. The other came of age during a market boom, where stocks were doubling every few years. Even if they have the same job and income, their money choices will be completely different. Why? Because of their experiences. Housel teaches us that people do crazy things with money, but only if you assume there's one right way to behave. The truth is, our choices are logical to us based on our background. And once you understand that, you stop judging others and start understanding behavior. In short, money decisions are less about spreadsheets and more about personal stories. 2. Getting rich versus staying rich. Let's say you take big risks, bet on the right stock, and make $1 million. That's great. But here's the problem. If you keep thinking that same high-risk behavior will work forever, you could lose it all. Housel says, getting money requires taking risks, being optimistic, and putting yourself out there. But keeping money requires the opposite: humility and fear that what you've made can be taken away. One of the best real-world examples? Think about lottery winners or celebrities who make millions overnight and go broke within a few years. Why? Because they knew how to get money, but not how to keep it. The lesson here is simple: stay humble. Protect your wealth. Avoid ruin. That's the real game. 3. The power of compounding and letting it work. If I asked you how Warren Buffett became one of the richest men in the world, you might say, he's a genius investor. But here's the real secret. He started investing at age 10, and he's still going strong in his 90s. Most of Buffett's wealth didn't come from high returns. It came from staying in the game for a long, long time. Morgan Housel puts it beautifully. Good investing isn't necessarily about earning the highest returns. It's about earning pretty good returns for the longest period of time. It's not about being flashy. It's about being consistent. Small wins, stacked over decades, become something massive. You don't need to be extreme. You just need to never stop. 4. The hidden power of enough. We live in a world that rewards ambition, and that's great. But there's a fine line between ambition and greed. Housel shares the tragic story of Rajat Gupta, a successful businessman who had everything: wealth, status, respect. But he wanted more. So he got involved in insider trading and ended up in prison. All because he couldn't say enough. Having enough doesn't mean you stop trying. It means you stop risking what you have for something you don't need. Because the desire for more can be endless and dangerous. Real wealth isn't about having everything. It's about knowing what you can walk away from and still feel content. 5. Luck, risk, and the unpredictability of outcomes. Here's something most people don't like to hear. Your success might involve a little bit of luck, and someone else's failure might involve a little bit of bad luck. That doesn't mean effort doesn't matter. It just means life isn't always fair, and we shouldn't pretend it is. Bill Gates became one of the richest men in the world partly because he had access to a computer when almost no one did. But thousands of smart kids didn't get that chance. That's not about skill. That's about luck and timing. The takeaway? Don't copy someone's entire strategy just because they're rich. And don't judge someone's failure without knowing their full story. Instead, focus on creating systems that work in the long run, even if life throws you curveballs. 6. Planning for surprises. The importance of a margin of safety. You don't know what the world will look like in 5 years. Neither do I. So how do you plan your financial life? With flexibility. The best investors, business owners, and everyday savers all understand one thing: stuff goes wrong. Recessions happen. Jobs get lost. Health emergencies pop up. And if your plan depends on everything going perfectly, it's not a good plan. This is where the concept of a margin of safety comes in. It's having extra cash, lowering debt, making conservative decisions, So when life surprises you, you're ready. 7. Real wealth is invisible. A brand new car, a luxury watch, a five-star vacation. All of these scream wealth, right? But here's the truth. Most of the time, these things aren't a sign of wealth. They're a sign of spending. Real wealth is the money you don't see, the money that's saved, invested, and growing quietly in the background. Housel puts it best. Spending money to show people how much money you have is the fastest way to have less money. Let that sink in. 8. Freedom is the ultimate dividend. What's the real reason people want to be rich? It's not just about fancy things. At the core, people want freedom, the ability to wake up and choose how they spend their day, to say no to things that don't align, to live life on their terms. And that kind of freedom doesn't always come from millions in the bank. It comes from smart money habits, a strong foundation, and the peace of mind that comes with being in control of your finances. So maybe wealth isn't just a number. Maybe it's a lifestyle and a mindset. So, what does the psychology of money really teach us? It teaches us that money isn't just math. It's emotions, habits, and patience. That being wealthy is more about behavior than brilliance. That true success is about staying in the game, living below your means, and thinking long term. If you want to be rich, start with your mindset. Be humble, be patient, know your version of enough, and protect your wealth like your future depends on it, because it does. Thanks for watching this deep dive on the psychology of money. If this helped shift your thinking, hit that like button, subscribe to Money Adams Reads, and share this with someone who's on the journey to financial independence. Remember, wealth isn't loud. It's quiet. It grows slowly, and it starts with how you think. See you in the next one.